been battling this depression for years, and it just doesn't seem to get any better. Not only that, he's suffering from a drug habit. Mostly, what I like to call Coca-Cola. And this habit only adds to his depression problem. Not to mention, the drug habit is also making him really paranoid. Like, really paranoid. He always believes he's being pursued by people who want to unalive him. In fact, his paranoia has gotten so bad that when he tours, he always wears a bulletproof vest right up until it's time to get on stage, and then he takes it off and he performs. And if all that isn't bad enough, he's having money problems. And I know that sounds crazy because he's the biggest soul singer in the world, but he's actually like $9 million in debt. And he owes the IRS $4.5 million in back taxes. And they've already come after him and seized a bunch of his assets. So things are not looking good for Marvin. And so, yeah, understandably, he's bummed out and he's trying to pull his life back together, and he ends up moving into the house that he bought his parents years before. Like, they still live there. So now, at 44 years old, he's living with his parents again. And unfortunately, in this household, things aren't going well. Like, tensions are really high. Like, Marvin's dad, he's still a heavy drinker, and he's still allegedly mistreating Marvin's mom. And as much as Marvin has tried to get clean, he's still using that Coca-Cola he likes so much, and he's still resentful towards his dad for the way he treated him and his mom during his childhood. And to make it even worse, there are firearms all over the house. Remember, Marvin's a paranoid guy, so he buys a lot of pew-pews for protection. He even buys one for his dad for protection. Dun, dun, dun. Regardless, at some point while living there, life starts getting to be too much for him. The addiction, the depression, the paranoia, the money problems, he's kind of losing his mind, and he seems to be self-aware of it. And despite being an incredibly successful and talented superstar, he just doesn't want to exist anymore. And this is where he allegedly comes up with a plan to get rid of his dad while saving his mom. And according to testimony from his siblings, Marvin's plan was this. First, he'll get his own dad to unalive him. Then, police will come and his dad will get thrown in prison, which will then finally save his mom by getting his father out of her life. And I know that sounds wild, but that is what his siblings believe his plan was. And so, finally, the right day comes, and it's otherwise a pretty normal day, and they're all at home, and Dad is looking for some insurance document, and he can't find it. And he insists it's all his wife's fault, and he's screaming at her like, "This is all your fault!" But Mom is upstairs, and Dad is yelling up at her from downstairs.